Games on. Hello and welcome to So Much Game for the 5th episode of Worlds Without Number with Sofinho, who is may or may not be currently eating something and hiding it. I don't know. I think I caught you a bit off guard with the transition there. But anyway, so tonight, if you've been following us along, we finished up the Citadel last time, and tonight we're going to be delving into one of the other nations. As usual, if you're watching, like and subscribe and follow and all those things, no matter where you are or what you're doing, feel free to do that. And I think we'll just get straight on into it, if that's okay.
Yeah, I just you didn't catch me off guard. You gave me plenty of warning, but I just had to eat some small biscuit, and I remembered that apparently a lot of people get very angry when they hear eating on YouTube videos and Twitch streams, podcasts, because they suffer from a condition called misophonia. Yeah, so I didn't want to trigger anyone. I ate a biscuit like that. I muted myself. Anyway.
And yet you spend most of every episode telling people not to like, subscribe or follow the channel. So, and that's the line that you draw then.
I think we worked out that didn't
work. No.
Oh, I stopped doing it. My reverse psychology was in effect.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, guess what? I brought real dice with me this week.
Ooh, fancy. Yeah. So there you go. We'll both be able to roll then. I think first off, well, you're going to get to use them straight away because we have to work out which of the nations we're going to be building. And we have 5 left. Are we doing one of the shards? Was that the plan?
I think so, but we don't have to. I was thinking we could, mainly because I wanted to do a map between last week and this week, but didn't really get any time. So yeah, but let's do it as a D6 roll, and then if it's a 6,
well, I don't want to make it too convoluted, but you could always roll a D10 and halve it.
Oh, really?
Or that's 5.
Or roll a D20 and divide the result by 4.
Yep, that's also a possibility, but then then you're going beyond my abilities to use mathematics live on a stream.
Yeah. I just wanted to get one up on you because you
because I suggested something clever for once.
Well, it's cleverer than I had suggested.
So, yeah. There's a first time for everything. It won't happen again, don't worry.
No, it happens every stream, I think.
Does it?
Yeah.
That's unlikely.
Let's go with the.
Let's go with the DC. Yeah. Because I want to. Yeah, sure. Go for it. You're rolling, so to be honest, you're rolling.
I could just pretend it's a D10.
To be honest, though, we first have to work out what's what.
I'm going off the list on the Google Doc, and it says 6 nations: England, Scotland, Wales. The 6 nations are.
You're going to forget France again, aren't you?
Yeah, who are those guys? Remember Italy, but forget France. Brilliant. The Pit, the Fallen, Nexus, Shard Prime, the Citadel, and the Salt Forest.
Yeah.
If we get the Citadel, we roll again.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's a 3, which is Nexus City.
Ooh.
Rapidly, a little description was just on here.
Yeah.
Rapidly growing close to the Hellmouth.
Yeah.
The Hellmouth was just a shorthand
That
for
breach
not.
that in the side, yeah, which you can probably see next to me out there. Yeah. No, that's actually a good one. I think that's, to be honest, one of the ones we've talked the most about as well. And now we're going to completely change.
Yeah, or just ruin it.
Or just, yeah.
What I'd be quite up for doing is establishing some regions within that, or like some districts or areas, so that we can get the feel of it as a more geographic entity rather than just a building with loads of stuff going on.
Yeah.
I think the Citadel started to feel like, and partly because of its name. Although, you know, a citadel can mean like a fortified city, but it does feel very kind of localized and not like a nation. But not that it is. I think I just think also last week I was a bit ill, so it was hard for me to focus and to work very effectively.
Well, we were we talked about splitting it up into boroughs or something like that, but then obviously ended up not really having the time. Or
so if you haven't twigged, listeners, viewers, group members, we're using the book Worlds Without Number by Kevin Crawford. Every time I go to say Kevin Crawford, I want to say, you know what I want to say? I want to say Kevin Arnold.
Now you're.
Is he? And he was the actor in The Wonder Years, right? No? Or am I thinking of someone else?
I don't know.
Wait, let's see. Because that's the name that comes in my head, and I have to kind of do this thing of Kevin Crawford. Yeah. Oh no.
His name is in big letters on the book, though. So.
Kevin Arnold was the character who Fred Savage played in The Wonder Years. That's the name of his character. It's really weird. That show is not a big part of my life.
No, I was just going to say, is it something you remember watching?
It's so weird. I think I can only really remember watching one episode. And it was his brother's friend coming back from Vietnam and having a bit of a break.
And it had such an impact on you that you forever remembered the name of the character.
And the other thing about that was that everybody thought that, or there was an urban myth going around that his kind of goofy, gangly older friend, not older friend, but because he was lanky, grew up to become Marilyn Manson, which is false. It was just an urban myth. We so often have to check online to make sure it's definitely not true. I'm an idiot. Anyway, we've established that. So yeah, Kevin Crawford, not a fictional character. He's a real human.
Yep. Who makes a really nice book.
Yeah. Which you can
bit further along with. Yeah, which you can indeed buy. There's a free version with a sort of light edition of the rules and stuff in it.
Yeah,
which you can get from Drive-Thru RPG, I think. And then otherwise you can buy the actual full book, which is definitely worth it because it's very nice.
And it's thick.
Yeah, it's massive.
There's loads of stuff in there to play with. Yeah. So we're going to have...
Shall build a Nexus.
Yeah. Build ourselves a Nexus.
So you want to split it up into several smaller regions?
We mentioned that it's adjacent to this this kind of breach into the bioluminescent layer
Yeah.
recently discovered or uncovered. We also said it had. Does it have connections to the salt forest as well, the canyon at the bottom, or did it have?
Yeah.
So it has connections.
Yeah. It's one of, because the salt forest is sort of a build-up of people from several different shards, and those indigenous to the salt forest that held it first. And they're sort of a mix of all of those people, which is one of the few places where that occurs, and that's what makes it a bit special. So yeah, the Nexus is definitely involved in that as well.
Were also the initial developers of a kind of magic of scrying and divination and communication.
Yep.
They were then
beaten.
Bettered at. They were beaten by people who now call themselves Shard Prime or something along those lines. Isn't ripped off of Necromunda. Just drinking some milk. Don't do it, kids. It's really terrible for you.
Is this more reverse psychology?
Well, I mean,
it's based on your previous success. It's probably not.
Yeah, I don't know. Don't know now. Yeah.
Oh well. Yeah. So, what are you thinking regions-wise? Do you want me to delve into the regions part of the book then? Or, well, not regions, but like...
there's a kind of terrain features thing. All of them are really external. Is there a district of cities kind of thing? I wonder if that's on.
Yeah, that's sort of what I'm looking for now. But I'll see. We've gone through 4. That's already ruined. So communities.
Yeah, that's
more
the one
like major cities. You have rural villages and major cities.
Yeah, okay, that's cool because that's a triple kind of D12 table.
Yeah.
Should we?
150. Yep.
Yeah, 150. Yeah, so we could split it. Say we do like a triple roll for each thing. We could do like 5 kind of triple D12 rolls.
Yep.
With 5 areas, and then we can just arrange them how we want as we go along, and then at the end,
how many D12s do I actually have on hand? 1. There you go.
I've also got 1, but I've got just next door. I've got about 7. Great. So I don't know. I could run and get them, but I don't think anyone would be interested in waiting.
That's all right. Who's rolling first?
I've just picked mine up, but you look like you might be holding yours already.
I am.
Is yours yellow?
It is a sort of orangey pinky colour, and they're glow in the dark. Don't know if it'll show up. Might do.
Good to see your thumb.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not working anyway, so that was a nice close-up of my thumb. Yeah. No, they're the ones from Kraken Dice.
That you won.
That's good. Well, 1 got given. That was
you
won very nice
raffle.
Of them. No, I was playing in the game, and they just went, everyone in the cast can have some too. So
that is good. Didn't realise.
Very nice of them.
Very nice.
Very nice dice as well.
Well, this is just a bog standard mass-produced Chinese D12. Yeah.
It rolls just the same.
always gets a 12. So
So natives are somehow bound here, military strongman and foreigner. Well, that was easy.
so we've got that 5 times. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, only
just-
when I roll. So
Yeah.
okay,
No. Right.
so area. Let's call it. No, let's just call it district.
Area 1, District 1. Wow, that sounds very.
We've got a movie.
We've gone well out of the whole non-dystopian theme and just gone. Yeah, no, District 1 through 5.
Because you did say borough earlier, and I like borough, but it always makes me think of on London, and then 2 of Electric Bastion Land.
And is there anything wrong with either of those?
Of course, they're both horrible. No, the two of my favourite things. There's a bit of an exaggeration, but 2 things I like a lot. But I think different vibe, isn't it?
Yeah.
The Electric Bastion Land is that grimy, I'm going to say late industrial, because it's like feels like Edwardian, be late Victorian kind of grime, Dickensian, fantasy, fun, but not where we're at. So in John Carter of Mars, what do they call their boroughs? What's a Sword and Planet borough? Yeah. It's funny how language can really clue you in like that. Like if we called it a zone, then we'd be getting a real cyberpunk feel, wouldn't we? Or maybe a more far future sci-fi. I don't know. District is definitely a post-apocalyptic.
That feels very dystopian anyway. Like, citizens of District 2.
Yeah, but also District 9 and District 13.
Yeah, I know. I was trying not to reference actual. What other words are there? Ward, like WARD, not ward. That feels a bit spiry though, I think.
Yeah. It has a very English. What's English for arrondissement or something? Canton. We have multiple cantons. Well, I'll tell you what, because it's like an enormous thing, and they are nations, so let's just call them provinces as a placeholder. Yeah, that gives us a good sense of scale.
Yeah,
as well.
that's pretty much. Although we're going to run on this roll on the major city table, they're actually like, provinces.
Because it's like we're mixing things up.
Yeah, that's how we roll with D12s.
Roll first. Yeah.
Go on.
You roll first.
Oh, you disappeared briefly, sound-wise. 10. It's a place of great beauty and healthfulness. Well, that's the whole place, isn't it? So, maybe rationale for the city, well, the province's existence in this case. It's a place of great beauty and healthfulness. This might be sort of a very park-like area within the Nexus.
Oh, the top right table. Yeah, I was going to suggest skipping that because we already kind of. Oh no! I mean, if you want to go with it, we could definitely see what it's another thing.
Who runs it? Allied noble heads. Do you want me to roll all 3 of them in one go?
Yeah, that's good. Oh well, yeah, but you rolled for rationale, so let's keep that. Yeah. So a place of great beauty.
Yeah.
And by allied noble heads was that?
Yeah.
And what else we got?
A 9. Local magistrate is the significant local. And the current pressing problem is 12. A major local industry is threatened by events.
Good. Major local industry threatened by events.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Let's go straight through, and stick these on the pot and let them bubble. I've got a 12.
Yeah,
Chanel
it does.
Yeah, I forgot about that. 3. It's never rolled a 3 before. So I've got the natives are bound here. It's ruled by a council of oligarchs.
Yeah.
It is significant local. Is a local magistrate. Maybe these are the guys with the very big swords.
Yeah.
What's another
They
word
just
for
run
magistrate?
a
A judge. I am the law.
So maybe we should call them districts.
Yeah. So
or
Nexus
blocks,
City 1.
city blocks.
Blocks. Yeah. There you go. Attack
Mega block 1.
This is a good one though. Current pressing problem is a disguised monster. It's feeding on the city from within.
Ooh. Interesting one.
That sounds like a fun puzzle to solve.
Shall I roll again then?
Please.
There is heavy resource extraction nearby. So that might be the bit closest to the salt forest. Yeah.
I didn't think of the salt forest. I was thinking maybe the
the Hellmouth bit, or
yeah, probably the salt forest.
Who runs it? Another 4 allied noble heads again. They're everywhere. Significant locals. If yeah, just their heads.
Like heads in jars.
If I roll local magistrate again,
turning it.
No, it's a famous courtesan. And current pressing problem is if food supplies aren't being received as they should, because the hidden monster in the Mega Block 1 has eaten it all.
I blame those allied noble heads.
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder if the local magistrate is the same one though.
What, those 2 local magistrates that we have? Yeah, might be.
Causing problems with anyway, so famous courtesan, food supply. Cool. All right, so province Mega Block 4. Mega blocks just make me think of generic Lego. So.
Well, there you go.
Okay, so rationale for city's existence, or in this case, Mega Block 4, is it's built around an ancient working, which I think was a feature of the latter Earth kind of inspiration for the Worlds Without Number book, kind of like almost like the home setting that isn't a home setting. So I think, have we worked in them? Have we thought about those before? Because we did.
Well, we do have a few, well, a couple at least, don't we? Because the whole bioluminescence is basically being fueled by a giant life machine, and then there's another one that's recently been uncovered but probably isn't working, and that they don't really realize is another megalithic machine in the Obsidian Mountains. And then, to be honest, you have...
We called that something like an engine, didn't we?
Yeah.
I'm going to say it's built around an ancient engine, inverted commas. Air quotes. An ancient engine. Chaos engine.
Life engine you put in the Google. I knew life was in there somewhere. There you go.
Good. Well, that can
But
go.
yeah, that is also sort of the shards themselves
Yes.
are very much, I think,
This could
constructs
be
or yeah.
the core, the heart,
Yeah.
heartwood
Yeah.
of this
The heart of these shards.
of the spire.
Yeah.
No, they're like trees, and trees have heartwood. I did not steal that. Definitely did not steal that.
We need to come up with another generic term for heart, and then we can use that.
Engine.
Yes.
So there you go.
The engine of these shards, totally not a heart of a spire.
And we're going to release 2 core books with a slightly different game structure. Anyway, it is run by the Chief Magistrate. So yeah,
There you go. Now we know.
They're a big deal. They're a big deal in now from these dice rolls. Significant local is
The local magistrate.
no, that's close though. It's a City Watch Chief. So
Yeah, well, the magistrate's already busy, so
it's all focusing on districts 1 and 2, Mega Block 1 and 2.
yeah.
Shard Facet 1, 2. And lastly, the current pressing problem is. Oh dear, I like that one. Urban groups are arming to resolve some dire conflict.
Ooh, that's fun. Yeah. All right, one more. Okay. It's a shelter from the dangerous environment, which all of it is. So that might be a bit closer to the blasted land then. Who runs it? An ethnic group's ruler. And significant local is a rich merchant.
I hope these are clean here because I'm having some trouble with the formatting on this. Dear viewers, I'm typing this up as we speak and I'm slightly inadequate at all tasks. So start again. Shelter from dangerous environments.
So I think like the
ruler
obvious
was
is location.
Leader of an ethnic group.
Yep.
Okay.
Ethnic group's ruler. The significant local is a rich merchant. And then the current pressing problem is a recent calamity has done major infrastructure damage. So you get to use that little cracked, faded out.
Yeah. Again, no. Well, actually, I was going to go for quite a different aesthetic for how I laid this one out because I was going to focus more on like the interior and the cross section and it looked more like an anthill that's been sliced in half. So, on major infrastructure damage. Oh, all right. Oh, well, let's do one more. So we've done 3 each. Does that sound okay?
Go on then. You just want to roll your...
12. Yes. I want to see if I can get another 12 again.
Just a whole row of 12s.
I've rolled it 6 times. No, 8 times. Oh, I should get a... well, I shouldn't. That's how it works. There's a little tally inside. It only rolls a 12.
Oh no, I'll have to roll a 12 now. Oh well.
Sneakily roll your die on the side to make it use up your 1s and 2s and then imagine. You know, the other day was it Matt on the Discord server was saying when he's played Warhammer at Games Workshop stores, people cheat when they're playing 40k.
I have seen this before, yes.
It's like ugh, how Why? Why would you do that? Like, haha, I beat him. I didn't realise I changed the rules so that I would win. It's like,
Yeah, but
if you cheat at Warhammer or at any game, you cheat at life. You won't prosper. And that's not reverse psychology. That's just me threatening you now. Although
isn't that the opposite of what usually happens, though?
That's why we have religion, because there's no justice in the world, so you have to imagine that there is some in the next life, isn't it? I'm going to start getting depressed again. Okay, no, well, let's not go
One day,
down that route.
dear viewers, I'll invite someone on who doesn't immediately go metaphysical with.
Does Nye go metaphysical?
Well, we had some interesting conversations, and also he threw out quite a lot of information on Operation Citadel, so that's cool. Fun too. Yeah.
I'm just going to say that if you I shouldn't be too puritanical about this, because I once was reading, there's a blog called the Tao of D&D, and the author wrote something like about fudging dice rolls. He said something like, how can you trust someone who fudges dice rolls? And I was like, I get what you're saying, but like, and also I'm all for letting the dice fall as they fall, you know, and just going with it. And if it means it's bad, just fail forward. But I don't think if someone fudges a dice roll that they're an evil human being who can't be trusted. So let me tell you that. If you cheat at Warhammer, good for you, but you know, only cheating yourself, because you're awarding yourself a victory that is just
precisely. Also, you're breezing through what might have been otherwise challenging situations that might have taught you something.
That's where growth happens, in the challenging. It's a bit of life coaching as well.
And I'll just add my personal opinion, as I point out every time that I run games online now and say, oh yeah, you can roll physical dice. We're all grown-ups, and if you're really, you know, if I'm not gonna lawyer you or whatever, if you're gonna roll it and say, oh no, I definitely got God knows what, that's really up to you, to be honest.
I guess it's more like you don't want to play with someone who you'd not trust to tell you what a number on a dice is. No, like, I mean, I guess I don't. Maybe I don't care if you lie or you don't really.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much my opinion. I don't know. I'm not that phased by it.
And also why I like playing games which aren't finely balanced, because then I feel like they're easier to game than those which aren't. It's just a controversy. You know, I think they attract people. Go like, you know, if there's a lot of if it's very crunchy, but it's all been set up so it all like fits together very well, then it attracts people. Go like, how can I break this?
Yeah.
Which isn't always bad.
Yeah, that's like, you know,
not always fun for other players.
It's not my play style, but if you find a group that likes to play like that, good for you, and enjoy yourself. But yeah,
completely. And because I think that's, again, when you come to the point where you're making moral judgments about play, it's a bit weird. I think that's why I stopped myself from making physical threats against people who cheat at Warhammer, which I was about to do, and then I realised
you did.
I didn't issue any.
You invoked the cosmos and implied that they would be punished in the afterlife.
Metaphysical threat is not the same. If I say like, God will strike you down for sinning, it's not like I'm going to punch you in the face. It's different.
Well, to be honest, if the choice is between you and an actual deity, I feel like the deity probably has the upper hand.
Oh yeah, sure.
Probably,
sure.
you know.
don't think I can really invoke the gods in day-to-day life, though. That's, you know, and I'm not even getting into
That's
their
that's a
existence or not.
spiritual conversation right there.
I
Well,
know I
theological one at the very least.
cannot.
Who has the right to
Nine times out
invoke
of 10, though,
deities?
okay, I'll put it this way, 9 times out of 10, I'd rather someone said, go to hell, and punched me in the face. I can get over the hurt, or, you know, it's quite hurtful. If they really say it with meaning, they're saying, like, I want you to die, and then suffer an
for
eternity of
eternity.
torment.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, so, unless they're...
You should actually, next time you should point that out to them, because see, they may be throwing it out there rather
Do you think
lightly,
it happens to
and
me
the
very
moment they
often?
stop and think about it,
Next time, like, it's not like I'm walking down the street and people going like, Sofinho, go to hell. It's only like once or twice a week,
Yeah.
at most, you know.
whenever an umbrella goes missing.
Oh, I've got to take it back, and it's going to be
Yeah.
broken. So now I have to make double sure no one knows that I took it in the first place. I didn't break an umbrella.
It
Borrowed
was
an
broken.
umbrella that was already broken, but I don't know. It's kind of weird. A part of me does think that maybe I removed it from the umbrella stand in a weird way.
I don't
Broke
think
every
that's
single rig of the umbrella. That's highly doubtful, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
How did they
Probably.
turn up at work with every part of the umbrella broken, though? That's the thing that I don't know, we really
It's a very large gust of wind.
could have been.
A Mary Poppins all the way there.
Yeah, they did. Spoonful of sugar.
Yeah, and then botched the landing. There you go. Wait, and now back to our regularly scheduled
Program. So, the death of Mary Poppins.
Oh,
Go
yeah.
on, did I even roll anything with a no?
You did, I think.
Whether I a 12 or not? No, I didn't roll it. I was just saying.
Oh,
Let's see if we can roll another 12. Okay.
Yeah.
So, oh, look, a 12. No, it's a 9. The rationale for this area of the nation/city is it's a shared market for
ooh,
I
that,
guess many of the other
Yep.
areas. So that's
That's
cool.
always
The
cool.
economic part. Yep. It is run by a merchant prince. That's about right. It's like a market. Oh. Oh, I thought that was a 9. It's a 6. Significant local is a feared local mage.
ooh,
It's an interesting.
yeah.
We can squeeze that into the established law that we've already. Oh, current pressing problem. Criminals have corrupted local enforcement.
That's the ideal area for it, isn't it? That's where a lot of the trade passes through.
Yeah. So you're thinking this one might possibly be. I wonder where it could be.
I'm thinking the one that was a shelter from dangerous environments is probably sort of the outer edge towards the blasted waste.
Yeah.
The big park bit, it doesn't really matter where we put that so much. Then there was a bit it's heavy resource extraction nearby would be sort of overhanging or towards the actual scar itself, sort of the closest bit to that most likely, because that'll be where they come in with salt or things from the bioluminescence. So yeah, else did we have?
We also had we've got the market,
Market,
got the ancient
maybe
light
sort of
engine.
central. Yeah,
yeah.
the life engine. Put that at the core then, like in the middle.
Maybe the
The
base.
actual, yeah, the actual base of the entire structure.
What was that one about? There's one, the second one, the one I rolled. Natives are.
Oh yeah, the
bound
natives
here.
are somehow bound here.
Yeah, that's the most vague one, but maybe we'll come
Yeah.
back. So yeah, so we put.
Yeah, but there could be a reason for that. They might, because these crystal structures suck up water from down below. I don't know. It might require some form of maintenance on people's behalf, and those people have to stay there to make sure the water comes up, or who knows. We'll think of something, I imagine.
Yeah.
Which one do you want to delve into first?
Well, just thinking, got the shelter, dangerous environments, blasted waste.
Yeah.
Heavy resource extraction, kind of overhanging.
It's sort of overhanging, yeah. Yeah. Those are the two outer
shared
areas.
market. This is very vague, obviously. Shared market. It's in the middle.
Yeah.
Ancient life engine underneath
it's
that.
Underneath it, yeah, as the
and
actual base of the structure.
And we've got 1 and 2, which is this arc. Let's put that at the top.
Yeah.
At the top. And then the natives are bound here. Are you saying that could also kind of be near the
I suppose we
the Hellmouth gate thing?
Yeah, really need to have a sense of, or come up with a reason why they're bound there. Once you have that, where they are will probably become quite apparent.
I need note paper. I've done it like basically goes 1, 5, 6, 3, 4, 2, and for now, just
sure.
vague.
Yeah, no, that's great. Yeah.
So, what would we need to? That's done then. That's done.
Yeah,
that's
you could just leave it like that. Yeah, we have a.
Yeah.
Then, based on our kingdom building roles, it will probably get more defined.
Yes, that sounds good. Should we do that then? We've sort of established it as a kind of, this is a regional map in a way, or a provincial map of this kingdom. And we've given it, instead of using their regions, because our nations are, well, 3 of them are like giant cities. And crystalline hive cities / solar punk. Near utopian. So we used our the cities features in table. So we're going to go into the back to the old kingdom role. So
on page 119. But I think at some point towards the end we're probably going to have to sort of look through things and try and sprinkle in a few more of the actual elements of the themes we came up with to start with. They're sort of they're there, but loosely. Sort of pull it together a bit at the end. So linguistic touchstone will sort of be similar slash a variant of the linguistic touchstone of the Citadel.
So flesh out its history. You already have an event or two related to it generated at regional level, and what we came up with was the advent of this type of magic which enabled communication, which they were then kind of
outpaced in by Shard Prime.
And that's all we really rolled for, if I remember correctly. So now take the same thing.
So
add 3 or 4 more events.
Yeah. Specific to areas in the kingdom. See, so this will, or the whole thing. Yeah, this will add a lot more detail to it. So we want to go to the bit with history construction. There you go. On page 136.
Yeah.
For those of you following along at home. Feel free to tell Kevin Crawford that we both remembered his name and told you should buy his book.
And I loved him in
in the one episode of Wonder Years you saw in your entire life.
I think that's the only one I can remember the story to. I think I just didn't like the voiceover. I didn't like the voiceover because it was him when he was grown up, and it just was something really annoying about it. Like, then I did this, and I don't know. What am I talking about?
You were just like, I don't want to listen to grown-ups.
I think cool. I watched it. I think I just watched a lot of television when I was younger, and that's it. I just watched too much TV. Mainly it was stuff I didn't like.
That is unfortunate, though, then, if you watched a lot of television, but it was all stuff you didn't want to watch. Oh well.
I used to run out of books too quickly, and the local library was really good for non-fiction, but it didn't really... There's a thing of like municipal libraries, like in the 80s and early 90s, would have a lot of like real trash, like Mills and Boone and airport novels and just Catherine Cookson, just like nonsense, just absolute nonsense. Anyway,
I'm mostly read in English, so I had to wait until we went to visit family or on holiday to buy books to read. So
that's harsher.
Fortunately, I inherited a lot from my brother. So by inherited, I mean acquired.
Yeah. I'm relieved
reading
to
them
hear
anyway.
Okay, so do we just run through all of those on?
Yeah, sure.
How did they originate? I think we already had an idea, right?
Well, let's see what happens. This is then for a specific region and, well, province, district, whatever we're calling it.
Oh, really? So you want to roll through all of these for all 6 places?
Oh no, you just make, what is it? You make 3 or 4 of them, but then it gives sort of some history to certain areas or like you can choose, basically. We'll roll, and then based on the result we can go, oh, this is something specific to the entire Nexus, or this is something very local to one province.
Sure.
Unless you want to take it a whole different way?
Well, I don't know. In my head, I imagined that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 would be maybe the whole thing. There's like this series, and then you have like the events table, which we rolled on for nations before. But let's just see what happens.
Okay. So then we're really only rolling on the events table because we've sort of created this. How did it originate?
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just catching up with you, basically. Okay then.
Okay. Good. All right.
There you go. So page 139 then, the historical events table.
Unless there is anything here. Never mind. Historical events.
Yep. Now I need to find D10s. Shall I roll one first then?
Yes, please.
61. New rulers.
New rulers. Group's
That
former
could-
ruling dynasty was replaced either peacefully through intrigue or perhaps through outright conquest.
That could be that one local magistrate becoming the local magistrate for the other area as well. Like you said, it could be one local magistrate.
A guy in province 1 and 2, but they're not the same as the
He or she or they have managed to. Well, maybe they're eyeing up the chief magistrate job and trying to increase their influence.
What's their name?
We'd need a linguistic touchstone for that.
Magistrate. Yeah, because we've got these two magisterial figures.
Yeah.
I've got one is the magistrate.
Yeah.
And one will be the chief magistrate. Exactly what it was. So the magistrate has risen to a position of of influence.
Yeah, that's going to be an event that's happened recently then, I imagine. Because that then also leaves a fair amount of opportunities open for potential adventurers.
A point. So we've got the local magistrate is in areas 1 and 2.
Yeah.
As I've drawn it at the moment, those things
they're far apart. So what are one's the nice parky area at the top? Yeah. And then 2 was
the natives are bound here. Council of oligarchs, a disguised monster feeding on the city from within.
Yeah.
Sounds less nice.
But perhaps the magistrate has been sent there to deal with whatever this terrible monster is, if they even know that it's a monster.
And what was the actual?
And so they're not particularly happy about it either, I imagine, if they get sent away from this beautiful utopian park area, sent down into the near bowels of
oh yeah, and ironically this is the thing, because this is a role of new ruler. They've been sent down as the kind of new law enforcement there. Maybe the the incumbent is still around, and they're kind of annoyed.
They haven't been dismissed yet. They're just sort of like, oh, okay then.
I'm dealing with the situation, and they don't even want to be there, and they're just getting abuse, even though they've been sent down there for. Yeah. But you can imagine them all. It's a bit like in Father Ted, where there's an episode where he works really hard to impress the American priest so that he can get a job in America, and he finds out he's going to be working in like a really run-down, deprived kind of urban area. And he's just kind of, the guy's going, yeah, you're going to love it, you're going to do a great job, and he's just trying to back out of it in as graceful a manner as he possibly can. So this is like the magistrate. He's like going, so why did you join the magistrates? He's like, I just wanted to make a difference and be here and help people. And they're like, well, that's so good because you're doing a great job up here in our perfect like little park village at the top of the shire. But people really need your help. And there's like a monster eating people in like a place where it's perpetually dark. And the locals are kind of bound there by some ancient curse.
May or may not have to do with the monster.
But no one
you really find out.
No one wants you to be there either. Okay, so on you go.
Also, it's a touchy subject. The person who's actually currently in charge of it, we don't really want to directly relieve them of their job. So maybe you could work with them.
They've been really good up until time something's gone wrong. Up until now, they've been wonderful. They've been a really loyal servant, and they really just like wearing the special hat that they get to wear with like a feather. So they're gonna be. They don't want to lose that hat.
Yeah. Who would
do a job swap? But my nephew is really keen to get started, and I think he'd be ideal to take your old position up here in in the park. So yeah, that's cool.
It's always nice when backstory writes itself. There you go. I think it's your roll.
I did roll 60 before while we were waiting.
New Horizons.
Yeah. Discovered new territory, whether trans-dimensional or far terrestrial region, underground realms, or the like.
That could be, if we're going to make it regional, that could be the overhang bit. Because now, not only are they still getting the salt extraction in, there's also this big gaping hole into the bioluminescence that's now open to them. So I imagine whatever people bring back from there also flows in through that same region of the city. District slash facet slash yeah.
They've got a problem with food supplies, though. In case you forgot.
Well, because they keep bringing in salt. It's not food. They put too much salt on everything, and then I'm so thirsty and hungry all the time, and I just don't feel well. Maybe use less salt. Well, maybe they have something's been brought back from the bioluminescence that has affected their food supply, like created an illness or created some kind of plant rot or anything like that.
Maybe it just brings the food back to life.
Yeah. I was going to eat that steak as well as a cow walks off it. I've been dry aging that for 40 days.
We did sort of imagine it like kind of fungal in a way, didn't we?
Yeah.
Kind of myconid or
yeah.
It so could, maybe it's just spreading all over the
fungus
food.
Affection or something similar that just makes it all unedible.
You wouldn't want that. You wouldn't want glow in the dark mold just even
No.
if it is pencil.
Like, yeah, you have to find a special kind of person who would like to try and eat that just to see what it does. Like, no,
But
I'll
then
leave it.
maybe it does. Maybe it like
Might be
it has no nutritional
perfectly
value. It will
fine.
cure all viruses and
Mm.
any infections.
But you'd be a bit wary of it if someone presented you with it, or it just started showing up on your food. Oh, it's really good for you. Yeah, no, that's all right. Right, let's see. 32. Freakish magic. What is
Cool.
freakish magic?
Freakish magic. Particular type of magic was developed here that is unknown elsewhere, and its practitioners keep it secret as well.
There was one bit with a mean mage of some kind. A fearsome mage or
Last one
something
I
like
did,
that.
which was at the market.
Alright, so the middle bit. Yeah.
Just want to mention that we did roll this for the one of the founding myth of the this area,
Mm.
and we also got the flip it around roll or something.
Yeah, it turned out positive rather than negative, I think.
Oh no, maybe it didn't, because this went from good to bad. Like they found the thing, and
No, I think.
because they're rubbish at it now, aren't they?
Yeah.
But in the end, it turned out all okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So we double
Because
clicked
it's not dystopian.
Yeah, it doesn't mean bad stuff doesn't happen.
No, but they get over it.
They move on. They resolve it
Just yeah.
for the time being. Just like
Yeah.
real life. So okay, so I just wanted to mention that in case you'd forgotten, in case our viewers had forgotten.
Our viewers are smart people. They know more about what we're rolling than we can remember.
They might never have watched it before.
Mm.
Now they're going to go, oh, there are other episodes of this amazing stream? Yeah, there's like 3 at least.
I wonder what theological questions they bring up in the other episodes.
Do you think... Okay, so type of magic that's been developed, you don't want to link it to the origins, because we're thinking of more recent events, aren't we?
Well, we could do, because you sort of have the choice in this, don't you? It can be ancient or low or more modern. Well, more. So, how would you be thinking of linking it to their communication magic? I suppose it's also kind of moment to go, how far are we going with magic in this?
As far as we can go. Where we're going, we don't need bell books. There are no roads. I don't know yet. I don't know. It's not clear in my head how it feels.
Yeah, I feel like there's definitely some. I just don't know if it's like all out shooting laser bolts from your eyes magic and transforming everyone into frog lizards or something. I don't know, but
yeah, I think if there's powerful magic,
blink
it's
of an eye.
risky.
Yeah, probably.
Risky.
That's just always a good thing to do with magic.
Sorry, I just had a thought then about how I've used magic dice before. Fizzle is a really boring result, isn't it? Should just get rid of it. Yeah, never mind. At one point, 2 things I think we should do is like just a really do the RPG element of it. Because there's a big world building thing that comes out of classes and the kind of equipment list. I think that's a really important thing. Like, the thing gets said a lot, but like when you look at the original D&D list, you see that on on there, as well as like rope, lantern, backpack, and spikes, 10-foot pole, water skin, wine skin. You're like, oh, there's a lot of exploration and poking around going on here in dark places. And then like further down, it's like pallet, wooden stakes, garlic, wolfsbane, holy symbol, holy water. You're like, oh shit, there's going to be vampire and werewolf hunting going on as well. So you know, it makes
it definitely, it creates part of your theme as well.
Yeah. Because I was thinking about this, like there's a thing of, in the majority of these shards, you don't really go to a shop and buy something. Like you just go and collect it. Then you say, I'm just borrowing this, and like, yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then you need more. They're like, but why do you need more? And then it becomes annoying. So you have to go to the market to get more and actually do
actually buy it. Oh
man, communism's so boring. And then you just buy stuff because it's more fun to suffer, and I don't necessarily believe that. Political views. My political views are not my own. I saw that.
No, have you got to that level of dystopia?
I think there's a. Yeah, I think there was a. I swear I saw a Twitter account where they'd put like views. Like they were basically trying to disown themselves from their own views. In a way they could distance themselves from their own views. In a way, like people like who represent a corporation try and say that the views are my own, not those of my employer, blah blah blah. Which is,
all the terrible views expressed here on So Much Game are unfortunately very much my own. Feel free to.
I don't have any views. That's terrible. Apart from
that's a view in of itself.
Yeah, it is. Of course it is. Just to say, it's like, your act is, you have no act. Freakish magic. Yeah. It should be the guy who's who's causing trouble in the local area. This mage.
Yeah.
The local mage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Province 6 at the market, who's causing problems there. So
people want to come and buy their extra stuff that they need more of, and he's just like, no, you can't do that, just go borrow it like everyone else. I'll zap you with my freakish magic of currently undefined source and scope.
And this is annoying for the merchant prince who's running things down there, because up until now, maybe the merchant prince was also in control of the corruption of the local law.
Yeah.
Well, maybe, or maybe the mage is corrupt. I don't know. Maybe it's going to be
maybe
more.
They're both.
Yeah, exactly. Or running street battles between different factions of guards.
Factions, yeah.
That's going to be fun. Yeah, a bit like I'm thinking of the Musketeers now.
But with bigger swords.
Yeah, kind of the opposite. But you would be able to tell me better. Okay, so this occult practitioner is starting to cause trouble with his freakish magic. Their freakish magic. Is it my turn to roll one?
Yes it is.
One.
I think it's the last one as well, isn't it? Or are we rolling one for every region?
Well, we're seeing if anything was gonna. Yeah, let's roll one. Maybe we do one for every region.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Decadence. Old strengths and glories crumbled away into decadent remnants, the group becoming indolent, indulgent.
So where do we want that to be? Up the top in the Utopian Paradise Park area?
Where I went first of all. Well, that was boring.
There you
No,
go.
it's
Shall
like
I
you
roll?
said the other, was it last week? You said, like, you know, so we just have Child Prime as just being decadent and fading into nothing. Not really many interesting stories that can happen there. Yeah, I suppose that's true.
Yeah.
We gave them the like exploration, the salvage rights of the megaplex. Okay, so give us a dice roll.
Another 61. Do you want me to swap that around to 16? Desolation. Oh dear.
Unfortunately, the group's territory was rendered uninhabitable by something either permanently or for a long time. So we've got something, a recent calamity at number 5. It would be the logical one.
Yeah. Well, there's number 5. Is that out towards the
dangerous environs? It faces out onto the
wastes?
Yeah. It's ruled by ethnic group's ruler. That could be one of the fallen who've kind of established an enclave there.
Yeah.
There's also a rich merchant there who may or may not be a merchant prince. Recent calamity has done major. What's a recent calamity?
It'd be the most obvious thing would be sort of similar to the Citadel, but you know, we want something.
I was just about to say, I kind of go to is like, unearth some ancient magic tech, and there's an explosion, and
but
we try something else.
Yeah.
Maybe it was calamity. It was just a huge level of something from outside, like struck. Something outside.
It doesn't have to be destroyed per se. It just has to be rendered uninhabitable, perhaps. Yeah, like one of the water structures that pumps water up into the city broke somehow, and just the whole portion of that province is underwater, like a small section of it or something, and then
they probably
then you can't live there, but you know,
it's a very uncommon event.
Yeah.
And what is this? Why is
precisely, they're all confused. And on the other hand, they go, well, maybe we could use it as a big swimming pool, like a boating lake. I don't know.
I told you had at least one better idea than me per session. At least one. You said that wasn't true.
It compensates for the 50 terrible ideas.
No, I don't remember those.
No one does. That's the advantage of terrible ideas.
Do remember people who have a lot of terrible ideas in a row, though. I could tell you it. I'm not going to tell a work story. Desolation caused by recent calamity. Flooded to ruptured water main.
Basically. And they're not used to it. They have no idea of how to solve the problem because it's never happened.
Quite.
Imagine for them, like, there's probably something akin to little fountains or something, areas where the water just sort of seeps out in a slow trickle. You can go there, fill up your pails of water and things, and then take them home. They're probably not used to sudden massive flow of water spreading all over the place, or ever having to deal with these veins of water that run through the shards at all.
Maybe. In any case, it was more than they could cope with.
Yeah. They have an indoor swimming pool now.
Yeah, well, eventually it'll work out for the best, I'm sure, but at the moment, struggling to cope. So finally, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got something for every part except for fourth one, built around an ancient life engine chief magistrate, city watch chief, urban groups arming to resolve a dire conflict. So essentially,
it will create the conflict. Hopefully.
Is this me?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
So it's an important role. So.
No pressure. Okay, I got a 2 and a 8. 28.
Exquisite art.
Exquisite art.
Or
Exquisite
82 art. Religious rise. Do you want to re-roll it?
No, yeah, no. Oh, I didn't get 28. I got the one I wanted, which I don't know. I'm kind of. I think it's more. Let's make something. Let's squeeze this in. Let's make this fit. Let's make the religious rise one fit, because we've got armed conflict going on.
Yeah.
In this area, or people arming themselves, resolve a conflict, and the conflict isn't established. And exquisite art. Maybe it is something to do with the exquisite art, because it's less conventional than a religious conflict. So maybe this ancient life engine produces something which is exquisitely beautiful, and this is just kept locally, and it's just revered by local people, and it does have maybe a spiritual or metaphysical or indeed religious significance, but outsiders from outside this region have been taking these artifacts, whatever they are, and just selling them as on the open market. And maybe this leads to people becoming more protective of these items, even though there's nothing to say, there's no property law which says, look, it's produced by the shard, so it's for everybody. But they're going, yeah, but it's for everybody here, and people just coming and they're not sharing them anyway, they're going and selling them. So I don't know what these exquisite things are, by the way, or how they're produced. They just kind of manifest, but work on that. So people, because the City Watch doesn't believe it's within their purview to kind of stop people taking things from the shard which provides, local people arming themselves. Something like that. Or
yeah.
No. Of course, it's all silly. Giant crystal trees in the desert.
Yeah, precisely. Yeah.
So, what are these things? They are. They are.
Crystal formations.
Yeah. Perfect spheres. Inside them, there's a tree growing, a crystal tree growing, which is a microcosm of
what they're living in. Yeah. And
in fact, they are seeds. If you took them away and placed them in the ground, they would grow into a new shard one day. Or if you put them took them to the bioluminescence and put them there, they would just go. And maybe someone will do that, and that'll be bad, because it will grow up through whatever's already there. But
that's an evil scheme we can deploy on potential adventurers in the future. Like, oh yeah, your job is just to take this round ball, just take it down there a bit, stick it in the ground. Nothing will go wrong, don't worry.
That's given us quite an interesting and varied place.
Well, the Nexus is sort of a big hub anyway now, because it's the part that is most in flux out of the 3 shards. It's connected to all these different areas that are now suddenly important, like the artifacts from the Obsidian mountains, the whole bioluminescence that's opened up now, the salt forest, and I suppose they're probably also they're definitely connected to the waterway in some way. That's probably what that bottom bit is going to be then, where the citizens are bound to the area. It'll have something to do with the connection to the waterways.
Good, because then also
completely under.
Back down to the from the deep kind of
trope.
I think that's the disguised monster that's also feeding from them. Is that coming up from the murky depths?
Oh,
Disguised.
True.
Yeah. Like a kind of one monster scenario that's in a dungeon, like the original Alien movie, and many horror movies, about people trapped in an enclosed space with a possibly strong and dangerous predator that's picking them off.
Like a Minotaur.
With tons of examples, right?
Yeah.
But then the good one is when you've got it spread out more, a kind of like an investigation thing where you've got like someone trailing Jack the Ripper or Dracula. There's like a spate of murders going around, so you've got to solve the case, because the magistrate is fighting against the fact that the existing magistrate doesn't want to work with them because sees them as interfering, so that's making it difficult for them to solve the case. They're also bound by the duties of their office to work within the boundaries of the law, whatever that is, and could do with some outside help, so that's a really cool adventure hook, isn't it? Just there.
Yeah.
And also how that links into the natives being bound there, like you say. Is there something deeper and darker going on?
Because I assume, they all use the waterways as sort of the main connection between everything, but they probably don't have a lot of information about what it is or what's down there. They just, these boats travel along there, so who knows what's down there and could crawl up.
Also, sometimes a habit of people who inhabit these great crossroads. In really ancient times, the idea of like the oasis being the crossroads of so many different civilizations and stuff, but there would almost be like a cast of people who were always inhabiting that space, who maintained it, or if you had lots of different nomad camps coming and going, someone would have to take care of the waste and the catering and everything else that goes on, look after the livestock, and their entire life would be in one place, but they'd see the entire world from that position. Maybe they're bound by an ancient duty, which is like to
maintain that sort of so it's sort of kind of like a dock area in a way, or
definitely some kind of transitional space. There's an interesting thing Baudelaire talked about, like sitting at docks as being the most exciting thing, just being able to watch people coming and going from all over the world and their cargoes from all over the world. And it was not translated literally, I mean yourself was talking about it, about how actually if you really are able to let go of the general stress of travel by aeroplane, airports are kind of quite fun places as well. Yeah, they're expensive and services are bad, but if you just can kind of, as an observer, you literally have people from all over the world going all over the world, and that's pretty amazing. Just to kind of to listen in, but it's very rarely like that. When I get to an airport, it's like, my God, how long till my plane? Okay, and also I'm on holiday. How much alcohol can I now start drinking? I don't normally drink gin and tonic at like 7 in the morning unless I'm on a plane or about to get on a plane. It's like, acceptable.
No, I think the only time I actually did that was when we went to a fencing seminar in Toledo.
I've been there. Yeah, if you had a fencing seminar there. Oh yeah, because I asked you if it was famous for sword fighting because of all the knives and swords they made there. Yeah. Cool place, isn't it? Cool city. Like, loved it.
It is.
Did you see
nice.
like the old synagogue there?
Yeah.
That's so cool. Also, a really nice thing about it is, years and years ago, my nan and granddad actually went there. I didn't know, but they took back with them a little statuette that was a imitation of Cervantes, the Don Quixote guy.
Yeah.
His statue is there, and they had a little model of it, and one of the few things in their house that was fun to play with. There wasn't really any toys, but there was that. I had this little guy holding a book, this old Spanish guy holding a book, and he looked cool. And then when me and my brother were there and we saw the statue, I was like, how do you remember that? No, it was the guy who wrote Don Quixote. I just thought it was an old Spanish dude souvenir.
Holding a book. Yeah.
Fun. Yeah. I'd quite like to go back there.
Yeah, it's really nice as well.
One day we'll all be allowed to travel again.
Hopefully.
I don't think I'll have any money. Like, that's the thing. Just thinking like, oh God, that's so expensive. It's 10 o'clock here. I'm guessing it's about 11 where you are, right?
Yeah.
I need to go, and you probably need to.
No, that's fine. Yeah, I would indeed also like to finish. Well, I think we've also got a fair bit of we've gone about it in a bit of a different way to the Citadel, but we've got a fair bit of detail on the Nexus now. So, good job, us. Yeah. There you go. So yeah, I'll let you go. If there is anyone out there watching, thank you for joining us. And if you're watching on YouTube later, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Come and join us for more of our insane Worlds Without Number build, which will continue to delve into some detail and flesh out the various shards and nations around it. Also, that was fun. You were frozen there for a second. You just froze it like it was very much like Nye yesterday. He had a problem with running Vassal, which is the program we were using for the actual game, and his webcam at the same time, and to be honest, I was having some technical problems as well. So in the end, I just got him to turn his camera on for 5 seconds, took a picture of him, put that up. But yeah, so
you then turned that 5 seconds into a GIF and just had a
yeah, just continuously moving, and no one noticed. No, yeah. Except for the voice was kind of out of sync. No, it was just, yeah, that went well as well. Anyway, thank you everyone, and thank you Sofinho for joining me again, and for all your wonderful ideas. there you go.
I'm gonna finish on one. You were talking about like we've still got more nations to do.
Yeah,
I was going to suggest for
not doing them.
doing any more and just abandoning this whole project. I was going to say instead for the bioluminescence and the megaplex that's off in the mountains,
Yeah,
to arc them and think about those as like major adventure sites.
yeah,
which we
yeah.
were doing.
No,
But, like,
yeah,
I
I
think we've got to
think,
approach them
like
in a different way.
ruins, or well, what it describes more as places of interest and ruins and things like that. And yeah,
And, for sure.
I think the
And that leaves us
megaplex we're seeing as sort of a big dungeon as well. Anyway,
with, I think your word was a mega dungeon for that.
Yeah.
So that was.
maybe not that mega. Otherwise, does anyone ever complete a mega dungeon? That's the thing, though. Like, you don't want to make it so. Yeah, yeah.
They completely write it and then they never send
You-
anyone through it. Or they
You
just
don't know though,
continuously writing
because
it.
they write like the first block and then they could add a bunch of empty pages at the end. Maybe no one ever gets far enough to notice.
The Dungeon of the Mad Mage for
No.
the 5e one, it's actually
Yeah.
pretty good. Like, I mean, it's silly. Really silly. 'Cause I hate all that yawning portal. Like, oh, there's a pub with a hole in it, and you just go down into like 14 levels of vampires and were-rats and drow and mind flayers. But there was some cool stuff in. They had like a mind flayer spaceport. It was pretty cool. So it
that's
was
cool.
good for a 5e
Yeah.
product. That was pretty good.
Ooh.
But I don't think I've ever really run a mega dungeon.
No.
The biggest one I've run is probably E2, the Lost City, which has like 4 levels, fully keyed and drawn, and then like 2 levels which are vaguely keyed and drawn, and 1 level which is not keyed or drawn. Apart from there's a really nice map, some notes, and it's like, here's the end of the dungeon. Now make it up, and it's like a city, underground city that's supposed to tie everything together. So good for your creativity, I suppose. But
Yeah.
a bit annoying.
Yeah, it's also one of those things that's highly dependent on your game and players. I don't think I really play a lot of games where like endless dungeon delving is important.
Like Eugene was saying on over the other, probably about 6 months ago, he was talking about.
He said it at some point.
Yeah, he was talking about Stonehell. I think.
Yeah.
He was saying how actually what became really fun was they were just planning the logistics of getting their loot out and working it all out, and given that they knew certain creatures still they wouldn't be able to deal with, and just that whole logistics was just kind of a fun game within itself, and that just made it fun. And it can be, but some groups are just not gonna be into that. You need everyone to be into it for it to be enjoyable.
Yeah, that's it.
Otherwise, you can just there's one person there going, not saying anything, and occasionally just going, I'm just not going to do anything because my character can't do anything. And then you're like, okay, all right, you're not into this, I get it, okay. So it's important that everyone's singing from the same sheet.
Yeah. Talk to your players beforehand before you start a game.
Session 0.
Yeah.
Always in session 0.
There you go. So yeah, that's it for this week. Yes, I will leave you with our goodbyes and just say stay safe and stay gaming. Goodbye.
Bye.
Also, like, follow and subscribe. Don't listen to Sofinho. Bye.